hello. Yesterday I didn't stream, but today I'm streaming. And what do we need to do? We need to find out why our NPCs are moving so strangely with the move to operation. So basically in the code we have a very simple operation, which is move to, and we trigger that operation when a specific behavior is set. In particular is the chase behavior, which is coming from the let's say artificial intelligence system that we have in place, which allows our NPC to take decisions based on perceptions, which is pretty typical anyway, so nothing very new, but it's something that we had in place since many years, and now we are trying to put back in a real engine. Now the problem is that for some reason our NPC, which is our test NPC, is moving in a very weird way. So it's not moving in a straight line, but is moving in a kind of a weird way. So the first thing I want to check, let's say, if there is any problem with the navigation mesh, because I mean, a bad navigation mesh can definitely cause problems, and I want to be sure that nothing has changed or nothing is broken, you know, in the actual navigation. One thing that I did, and maybe we can also do that, was to delete all the maps that there was not in need of. So maybe what I can do, I can just restore all the maps and be sure that our server is loading the maps in a kind of a clean way. So, right, and because I don't know exactly what is the reason, but our NPC is moving very strangely. So it's moving somehow in the direction that we want him to move, but then it starts to move in other direction, like if there was a kind of a conflicting, you know, conflicting command or conflicting conflicting direction. You want to go another place for some reason. Hello Saurabh, welcome to the stream. So the first thing I want to check is why we are having this. So let me open up our maps and let me just check again. So this one is our main map, which is actually loading with the world composition, everything else, you see. So our persistent level is basically empty, there is nothing into it, but it loads map by map all the other pieces, okay? All these other pieces. And now one thing I wanted to check is build. So I remember there was a build. Was there a build navigation mesh or not? Let me load up the main map where all of the action happens and see. I'm opening up the map now, and I think I would like to display then the navigation mesh in that map and see if it's properly visible. I think you can see it by pressing P, if I remember right. It's sometime I don't do it, but yeah. Okay, so here is our main map, and let me try to press P. Yes, if I press P, I see, let's say, the whole navigation map. Okay, here on this stair is not really the best. Here is where our character is kind of having some trouble, but I think we can do something different. I think we can just have him walk in a straight line. you know, so just having walk in a place that where there are no obstacles at all. I don't know why our navigation map looks a bit like this, right? Like, for example, why is not covering the stairs properly? Why is not covering the stairs properly? Why is just covering a piece of it? I mean, this part of the stairs seems to be okay, but this part seems to be so. So let me remember. I think we have a navigation mesh, which is this one. Navigation mesh bound volume. So it's the one that I selected right now, which is that big. I don't know if you can see it, but it's basically a big square, right, which goes all around the map and covers and covers everything up to here. So this is where the mesh, navigation mesh, is generated. I see that some parts are a bit weird, like this one, but I mean, to me, if the character can, I mean, the most weird part are the stairs, I would say, because the stairs, you say, yes, there's kind of. So let me see if there is a way to improve it a bit. So nav mesh bounce volume has the following properties. So simulation generates it. Should you define event when the object align? No, we don't want any physics simulation on this one. Generate overlap events. I don't know if you want it on this, but okay. Can character step over? Yes. Collision? No collision. So we don't want the people to collide with this thing. Hollow tessellated. Hollow solid cube. Tessellated. Whether extra internal phases should be generated for each cube phase. This may be something that we can enable and see what happens. The other one is polygons, merge, or separate. Align brush basic create static mesh. So the thing that I can do basically is to click on tessellated and see what happens. Let's do it. Seems to be very, very similar. Let me see if I have. This state is about the same. Create a static mesh. Create a static mesh from selected brushes or volume. Replace them in the scene with a new static mesh. So this means that I can then edit it, or what? Spawn collision. So what else can I change to make it? I mean, there is this polygons, merge multiple polygons on one brush face into few as possible, and this is separate. If I click on separate, does it do anything? Seems not. Merge also doesn't seem to do anything. I don't know how can I improve, you know, the overall, but at the same time, I think I can have my NPC, you know, just move in a flat surface like this. So we remove any possible, you know, let's do this. So let's move our NPC to, let's select, what is this? What is this? This place is the, okay, it's the middle of the navigation. Okay, now let's take a waypoint like this, okay, and maybe let's just duplicate it, and let's select, or let's just move it somewhere. Let's move it like here, and let's take these coordinates, and these coordinates we put it in our database, so that when our NPC is starting up, it will start from those coordinates. So our NPC, the one moving, is Smith, is number 5. And so in terms of coordinates, we will give these coordinates. Okay, so this one, and this one. Okay, and we apply. So now our character will spawn in this location. Now we want to do another thing. We want to change the place we want him to go. And let's do something that is super straight, so there is no possible mistakes, you know. So let's do on a straight line, right? On a straight line, let's go like down there, okay? So there is no possibility of him messing up, you know. Is this location below the, yeah, I think is above the nav mesh, so it's okay. So the location is this one, and this one we will for now just hard code it in our code. I know it's not great, but at the moment I'm trying to simplify the problem to understand why it's doing this. And so yeah, the dummy destination will be copied from this. Okay, and the dummy start position is exactly the one that we placed in the database for him. So this, and this. Okay, so yeah, so now we have, let's say, in my kind of hard-coded sample that when we attack him, it will try to go from that place to that other place. Okay, and I think that now we can bring back this to the place here. Where it was, I think it was like here or so. Yeah. Okay, so so to me, the navigation mesh seems to be okay. I don't see any problem in the navigation mesh, apart from the states, okay, but I think it's okay. Is there a way to build it again? No, because it's built already. So when I yeah, I cannot build anything else. Cannot build anything else. I can do a map check. Okay, there are a few. I know those problems. It's not a problem. Okay, so no, I don't want to say. Well, yeah, let's say that I want to save it because we just regenerated, you know, the map, the nav mesh. So we regenerated that. So now let me just clean my files so that when we recompile, everything works okay. And now let's just start it and recompile it. So basically now the character will be in another position. So it will be in the main plaza. And the destination location is a very, very simple one. Is a straight line in the navigation mesh. So there should be, in theory, no obstacles unless there are some weapons on the ground, but I can remove those anyway. If we see some weapons on the ground, because at the moment weapons on the ground have collision enabled, which I think is anyway not a good idea, but is what we have. So I can probably remove those weapons as well. Just waiting the compilation to finish. Why is it taking so much time? It's taking a lot. Okay. So now my example is as simple as possible, right? There is still a lot of code running for the NPC, and that's true. I don't remember if we still have the 30 seconds, the 30-second delay between. Yeah, I think we have, right? We still have the 20-second delay for the NPC brain. Which I think is okay anyway, but yeah, it's 30 seconds. Okay, so our NPC is slowed down in thinking, meaning that it doesn't do any additional checks unless 30 seconds have been passed. So is it doing nothing in the first 30 seconds, right? So it is something that also that I did just to simplify the problem and to reduce the potential issues that maybe the other parts of the artificial intelligence is causing, right? At this moment, we just want this guy to move straight on a line and see if, yeah, there it is. I think we should remove the he's here. So there is the guy. There is the guy. Yeah, there are a few weapons on the way, so I think I will just pick them up so that there is no, you know, there is nothing to collide with in his path. So there will be nothing there. I'm picking up everything, cleaning everything. Okay, there should be nothing left. Well, there is this one. This one is a, yeah, this one is a stack. So he should be able to run from there, like to probably here, right? Yes, in a straight line on the path. So there should be no problem really to do that. Okay, so let's try. So let me go in player mode, which is the first thing I need to do. Then let me go in combat mode and select him, and then I will attack him. Now, as soon as I attack him, he should, and I'm away from him because otherwise he stays there. It didn't go. He should be moving now. Hello, Amy. He's not moving. Why is not moving? In theory, we should be executing this part of the code. Let's see if we have a move operation run in our log. So in theory we should. No, we don't have it. It's not executing that code. It's not like I killed them. Strange is not executing that. I think it should stay in a kind of a 20 meters range. Only has normal items. Let's just wait the response. It's like 1 minute he responds and we try again. But a bit surprised that he didn't try to execute the movement. Unless I did some mistakes in setting the values, but I don't think so. Also, it seems he's not reacting to my attacks anymore. Is he reacting only when I do damage? Yes, only when I do damage. Okay, now he's gone. You see what he's doing? I don't know. Did you see what he was doing? So there is a perfectly straight line in the navigation path. Perfectly straight line in the navigation path. He was trying to attack though. He was trying to attack. I don't know if there is something in the attack code which is actually trying to trigger some additional chase. That's possible actually. That's possible. That is probably a good hint because he was trying to play the attack animation and he was trying to execute an attack, right? And I don't know if in our attack code we need to check, but I don't know if there is like some other movement code. And I'm not fully sure, but I think we should check it. So basically, every time he tries to attack, he goes through attack, which is this one, TS attack, this function. He goes through this function. And the first thing that we do, we play the attack animation, which should not be a problem for movement because you can play any animation at any time while your character is moving, so it should not be a problem, I think. Then let me see what else it does. Is actually getting the attacker position and the target position. Okay. Is calculating the distance between the two. Okay. Then is scheduling the combat event. Right. With some parameters like which is the weapon is using, which is the time, and etc. So, and then it just waits 2 seconds or whatever is the time, whatever is the delay of the weapon. So it seems it doesn't do anything else here. Right? Even if attack is called by NPC operations, I think. So let me see if around that code there is anything else. Like here we are in PS attack effect. No, because this is scheduling the next attack. Okay, the effect is where we are doing the damage basically. But before coming here, I would like to check another thing. Because here we are scheduling a PS combat event. So PS combat event, I think is actually just launching the effect. But let me just say trigger. Yes, it's just launching attack effect, so it's doing nothing else. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. So let me check what it's doing in the effect. So it's checking if there is a target still available. Otherwise, it stops the attack, and that's fine. Then this one, I don't remember what it's doing. Attacker and attack. What is this doing? Yes, it's just removing the attack count. Okay, this is just an internal thing. Well, it's just an internal counter for the attacks that we are making, but it's not a problem. There is a check on combat mode. There is a check if the target is alive. Then it's checking again if he has the attack weapon in his hand. And I will say the answer is yes. Then he's checking all the requirements for the weapon. If for any reason he lost, I don't know, strength, and so he cannot really attack anymore. Then what he's doing is calculating the stamina that he has, because he's checking if he still has stamina available to attack. He's also checking if the target for some reason became invulnerable. Yeah, and he's doing a number of other checks and he's allowed to attack, I guess. Check if the NPC target has changed. Get target, if the weapon, blah blah blah. Get weapon is broadcasting, checking if it's broadcasting. Checking if the weapon is using ammo, whatever. I mean, there's a million checks in here. If the ammo type is okay, if he's out of ammo. Then he calculates the attack and he does affect target. So this is actually when it does the damage. Let me see if there is anything else here. Let me just check this affect target a second. Affect target. Is checking the armor of the target, is doing a bunch of calculations, is sending out the combat result, is broadcasting the combat result, is applying the final damage. I mean, it's doing really a lot of stuff. Yeah, and for the different cases, is doing something different. In our case, I think it will be just attack damage. Attack damage is here. Attack damage, meaning that we did some damage. Right? Outcome run, it is applying, it is doing damage to the target. It's doing damage to the target. He's already dead. Okay, we say that he's already dead. And the perception damage. And the perception dead in case he's dead. Okay. But no, this one should not interfere too much. At least it doesn't seem to interfere. Target object, get target object, set target object, decay, notify target. So now it's not doing anything else. So I would say the affect target should be fine. The affect target should be fine. So it's actually dealing the damage. Then after this, it's checking if there is a radius, and so it's doing area damage in the whole area, but I don't think that is our case. Then it's doing nothing else, the scheduling again the attack. You know what? I think I will change my test case. I will not do it while attacking, because attacking is really a freaking mess. I will do something extremely simpler, which is when I press a button, when I press a key, the NPC will move from location to location, because so we see if there is a problem with that or not. Okay, so let's do it this way. The only question is, do I want to do it with C++ code, or do I want to do it with blueprints? because actually with blueprints we already tested that it works okay. So that's a bit of the problem that we have. I would like to do it. I can add a new function, okay, which is just like move to location or something. Move here, and I could also have, yeah, I could also have a move to actor directly there, but I can have two things: move to location and move to actor. Do we want to have it with a key or do we want to have it with a command? I think with a key is probably simpler. So we just press a key and the NPC will move, right? I think that's probably simpler. So I will have to have him selected, I would say. Yes, I will have him selected, and it must be an NPC with a brain. So I cannot select an item, let's say. I have to select an NPC that has a brain, and when I select him, he will move. Now, let's prepare a bit the data then. So I think we need. Do we want to do it here or we want to do it? Well, in theory, I can do it all in blueprints if I want, but I think that I did already. I had a key that had someone follow me, but I don't remember. It was a long time ago, so let's redo it now. But I think I had something like that. I remember. We did something similar a long time ago when I had the lady following me. I don't remember how I did it, but it was, I think it was all in blueprints. Maybe she still has that code, because I think it was working only for the Dermorian. So let me check. Maybe if we go under our Dermorian character, maybe we still have it. Event begin overlap, waypoint move, random move in range, get a like, target ID, get location to go. Selecting what? It's moving between waypoints. Okay, it's fine. This was she moving between waypoints, and yes. Oh, I don't remember if it was behavior 3. I mean, I don't recall it exactly, but it's fine. I think we can. I mean, screw that. I mean, we don't need this. Let's do something in our character blueprint. So where we have all the keys, mouse and keyboard input, because do we have it also on PlaneShift controller? No, all the mouse and keyboard input are on our PS character, so they are here. Let me check which kind of interaction we have at the moment. So we have L is spawning an NPC. We have T, which is in theory putting on the robe, the wizard robe, and Y, which is removing the robe. Okay. So I think we can select, I don't know, K or whatever key. I think the K key is fine. I think it's not associated to anything. And so we can have the K key. Okay. So when the K key is pressed, we want to do what? We want to get our target object. So remember that here we are on client, right? We are on client, so we need to have a function server side. So let's create a new event server side, which is called ask NPC to move, right? And this will be run on server and reliable. And when I press this, I will just call ask NPC to move. Okay. So when I'm here, what I want to do, I want to get a target object. get target object, set target object. No, I want to get. Why don't I have the get? Get target. Get target object. Yes, this one. Why I didn't like it? I don't know. It was not showing up. So on myself, yes, I want on myself. I want to know what is my target object. Now here we want to do a few checks. We want to cast it to, because this one is returning an actor, so we want to cast it to a PS character blueprint. So to ensure there is an actor, I mean there isn't a character. I mean, I ensure there is a character. So if it's not, we would just print out something like you selected. You have to select an NPC. Okay, so I will print that out. If this is okay, then what we want to do, we want him to, this guy, I think we need to move to actor. I think it's enough to do this, really. I think it is probably enough to do move to actor or move to location. So I could do something stupid like move to I could have a flip-flop, you know, I could have a flip-flop iteration which has, let's say, two different vectors, and this vector, and then I have, yeah, I want to have a move to location. And move to location, which takes this vector, and the target is the AI controller. So I need to get the controller, and this controller I need to cast it to an AI controller, otherwise cast to AI controller, right? Otherwise it will not go here. Okay, so it's a bit messy. I'm now making it better. So we want to have two routes. One is this, and the other is basically identical, just with another location. So it will flip-flop between two locations, which I think is probably the easiest to test, right? What do we need? We need to have use path finding. Yes. Use navigation data to calculate the path. Absolutely. Project destination, project location navigation data before using it. No. Filter class, we don't care about filtering. Okay, that would be okay already. So whenever I press a key, it will check if my target is fine, and then it will ask to this guy to go to this location. Okay, we just need to put some values here in the vectors, but we can take well, we can take any value, but I think we wanted to have the destination, right? Destination is the one that I just put in as a fake dummy destination. What was it? Come on, was it dummy? Dummy destination, there it is. So these are the numbers that I want to put in. So the first one will be this, and then the second one will be the location where it's coming from, right? So one is this, and the other is the one that we have in the database, which is basically is starting position. Okay. Am I missing something, or should it work, or should be okay already? So when I press key, cast with eye controller. Okay, it doesn't like that because it needs this. Okay. Now, this is executed on the server. I don't know if it's automatically replicated to everyone in the game. So we will see. We will see if it moves or not, right? We will see if it moves. Okay. So that's enough. So let's start the server and the client and see what happens. Now we are still loading all the maps just for safety. I mean, I don't think it makes any difference because actually the navigation map is only, the navigation mesh is only on the central part of the main city. So I think it makes zero difference, but just to be sure that we are not hitting any other problem, we will we'll keep it like that. Okay, so now we want to select someone like this guy and then press key. Key is also opening my talents, but yes, he's doing exactly the same mess. He's doing exactly the same mess. Also, as you see, it seems he's not fully capable of reaching the location until the end. So this is the simplest case. So, and it's also all done in Blueprint. So there is no, there is no possibility that I'm messing up something or, right? Now the question is why. If I press key again, apart from opening this, he tries to go back. Look at that. Why? What the fuck? I mean, it's insane. It reaches the place, but it's like doing 3 million moves. Try to uncheck, use control rotation jaw on the phone and check orientation. Orientation move in the component. Okay. I'm very happy that it does this. Why I'm very happy? Because it means that it has nothing to do with my code. It has zero to do with my code, and I'm very happy about it. Meaning that when we solve it, I can plug back my code, my C++ code, and it will work okay. So I'm very happy about this test. If it was working perfectly with this blueprint, then it was a real problem. So you're saying use controller jaw rotation on the pawn. I mean the pawn is my cran character. I mean, I have multiple ones, right? So I have PS character, but it's not actually a geometry. The actual mesh is this guy, right? And the mesh, you're saying on the mesh, use controller rotation jaw. Jaw doesn't exist here. In the movement component, character movement. Okay, here it is. Joe on the AI. Well, the AI is a class, is a C++ class. So character movement rotation rate. What is this rotation? Why we have a rotation rate of 540 on our character? Character movement rotation settings 540. What is this? Changing rotation per second. Use when you controller rotation movement is the truth. And then I think that is the problem we have, boys. He's trying to rotate somehow. I mean, it's set to rotate. I don't know who did it. Maybe I did it a long time ago, but it's set to rotate. Let me check the other characters, like the lady. It was on movement, right? Joe. It's the same. 540 rotation. What is this thing? I mean, it's coming from the character blueprint. Let me check the character blueprint. On the character blueprint, we have 360 for some reason. I don't know why. We have a value here as well. Why we have all these rotations? Everyone is dancing in this game. It's a dance game. It's not an MMO. Everyone is rotating a lot. Okay. Above character blueprint, we only have the C++ class, which I think is not gonna do anything to it, in theory. Okay, let's see. Maybe it was that rotation, this crazy rotation, because for sure it was rotating. I mean, it was very clear that it was rotating, so. But it was more than rotating. It was like, I don't know, every second was. I mean, if it was only that, I would be very, very happy. I would be super happy. Because it would be the simplest solution ever. And I would probably never find it. But let's see. Let's see, boys. I mean, 360 rate per second. What does it mean? No, I cannot rotate now. Maybe it's not this. It's going back and forth. Look at that. It's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What the fuck is doing? What is this? You cannot reach the location. It's like if there is a wind. Let's say if there is a very strong wind. We cannot reach it. By the way, I cannot rotate my character anymore. I mean, it doesn't. So that setting was not the problem. But this guy, look at this guy. He's trying to go about here. But he cannot do it, because there is something that is pushing him back all the time. I don't know what is pushing him back, but it's something pushing him back all the time. While, for example, our armor works perfectly. I think it must be something on our... Let me try something else. Where is the armor? Unfortunately, I cannot rotate anymore. Where is the armor? I want to do it on the armor, and but he doesn't have. I don't know if he has a brain. Yeah, my character doesn't rotate anymore. If I select this guy, can I select him? No, I cannot select him. Okay. If I select the fat guy, let's select the fat guy and see what happens. If I select this guy and press K, he's gone. He went to the first location, which is here. I mean, it doesn't have a walk animation, I think, or anyway, walk animation is not associated, so that's probably why it didn't play. Let me press K again. I mean, it's definitely smoother, right? I mean, it seems he doesn't have the problem, no? What do you think? Let me press K again. I mean, it somehow is looking left and right, but it looks pretty much okay. It seems to be normal. Yeah, I agree. He's just avoiding this block a bit, and so he's moving left and right for a second, but look at this other guy, still dancing. You see? He's dancing like a boss. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Oh yeah, back and forth, back and forth. Oh yeah. He likes it a lot. Let me see if I ask him to go back. Going back seems to be a bit easier for him. Going back is easier than going to that location. I mean, going back, he managed to go back. Going there is very, very hard for him. It's very, very hard. Like, there is the strongest wind we ever seen. The strongest wind ever. What the fuck? How could we generate something like this? I'm thinking. How is it possible that we generated something like this? Ow! Ow! Okay. You stupid crane, just move like me. You can do it. Look, it's very simple. You just walk like this. He's bumping his head on the wall. Look at that. He's bumping his head like boom, boom. I cannot do it because I'm stupid. I cannot do it because I'm stupid. Okay, so this character is normal. The other one is not. Do they have the same controller? Yes. They have the same controller, which is the PSAI controller. It's exactly the same one. Now, okay, let me restore the rotation. Let me just check if this guy has some rotation thingy. Blueprint, Lavar is here, character movement, Joe. He has 0, 0, 0, 0 though, huh? This guy has 0 everywhere. I don't understand what it, because the description of this is change in rotation per second. Use it when use control desired rotation or orientation. Movement are true. Set a negative value for infinite rotation rate and instant turn. Wow. Instant turn would be nice to see. But so I think it's probably used when it's player controlled and you want to move. This is the speed at which he moves left and right. Hello Zenter, welcome. We are working on NPC movement, and for some reason our NPC is moving, one of our NPCs is moving in a very, very weird way. Very weird. And we don't know exactly why yet, so you're saying that 360 is the default. Okay, I will trust the 360 default, and I will keep 360 here and 360 here, which by the way now it got changed automatically, I think, because everything is 360. Yeah, so when I change it on the father class, we changed it on the 2 subclasses. Now one thing that we can do maybe is to check with the debug of the NPC if it's saying anything different. from the one that moves okay to the other one that moves so-so. We can check the difference. Maybe we will get a hint. But I'm very happy that he's doing it also with pure blueprints. Very happy about that. Very happy. I mean, there is no problem in my code, or at least not in the code that I'm executing in the attack, right? Fountain is very loud, I know. Okay, so let's move this guy, the big guy, which doesn't have a walk animation. Maybe, well, actually he has a walk animation, but I think it's not triggered. But we can, maybe we can just add it. But so if I select this guy, right, and then I go in debug thingy, which is this thing at the top. He's telling me that this guy has a PS AI controller, which is exactly the plane shift AI controller, so it's the one that we customized. He's telling me that at the moment movement is walking, nav data is default, path following, blah blah blah. I can even display nav data if I want, which is this one. But it moves okay anyway, so I don't think it's a problem of nav data. Now, if I press K, let's see what it's doing. It's saying distance moving 1, 2, 4, 5. Why messed up now? It messed up a bit here because there was this corner, but okay, maybe because I don't know why it messed up in the corner. I don't know, but it messed up a bit. Huh? If I press K again. He goes there. I can stand on the way and see what it does. I didn't stand in the way. The way is like here. If I stand in the way, I'm in the way now. Ah, it's changing his direction to avoid me. Very good. It's changing his direction to avoid me, so it's pretty smart. I can try to block him, but he's avoiding me. Okay, good. So, pathfinding works okay. He's trying to avoid obstacle or even players, you know. To, yeah, and he collided with the armor probably. Yes. Now, you're just saying walking, right? What is saying? It's saying walking, path, moving 1.2, 1.2, distance, tasks. It's saying nothing different, you know. So it's very simple. Now let's see if we do it with this guy. Maybe it will tell us something. So if I debug this guy and I press K, let me go at the back. So and I press K, it's already in this location. Okay, I press K again. I don't know why this number moving. It goes up to 5 and 6, 5 and 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a 6 as well. 6, 5, 6, 7. Even 7 for a second. I don't know what is this moving thing. But he arrived to 7. He arrived to 7. If I do it on this big guy, can I select the big guy? It does 2, 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and done. Here it does 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So why the other guy is going to 7? What is this thing in parentheses? What is this thing in parentheses that we have in Unreal? Because it's telling us something. It's telling us something that the character is completely fucked up. 7 again, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even 10. path following 1, 2, 7, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4. I don't know. It's like if his path, you know, is extremely more complex than the other one. I don't know. I don't know what this guy is seeing, but it seems that this guy is seeing something that the other guy doesn't see. I have no, at the moment I have no idea what is this. I would like to try on the lady, which is anyway a different character, but I don't know where the lady is. Why the lady doesn't appear anymore? Why she's here or... Yeah, she's here, but she's invisible. Why she's invisible? I think there is a kind of a problem on the lady. For some reason, she's invisible. Well, actually, she is. Why mesh? Let me go in the animation blueprint. Maybe there is a reason why. Maybe there is a reason. Compiling is compiling, but why I only have the arms? I think it was like this already though. I think it was like this because the mesh was not a combination mesh, but it was just one mesh. It'd be strange though, because in my details, skeletal mesh known for the arms. What does it mean? Why no skeletal mesh? I need the arms. Well, for some reason this is not set. Okay, we can set it again, it's no problem. For some reason we lost the setting, but it's okay. Because we are doing some work on the different characters and there is some work going on, so it's fine. There is hands, there is legs, and it is the torso. We can use the torso plate if we want. So we upgrade our armor immediately. Okay, let's do this. We will use the plate armor just for fun. Okay, so I saved her, so now she's visible. Let's try to do the same on her, so that she has to move between these two locations and see what happens, okay? Okay, boys? I was playing Fallout 4 this afternoon. It's a very, very nice game. I really liked it. He has beautifully made voiceovers and very nice characters. Very, very nice. Also, the random encounters in Fallout 4 are very, very good. They are kind of, I don't know how random they are, but they are nice, very different from each other, and so hello, you are here now, huh? Oh, you have a new armor. Wow, you look very, very nice in that armor. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's see if you can move to that location. Okay, can you move for me? Wow, you run very fast. Why you stop there? I think that is because there is this thing. No. Why you stop there? You fail to move. I mean, this stair may be tricky, okay? Because this stair actually is a bit tricky. Do we get an error when she cannot move, or no? Server side. I have no idea. I think she may struggle on the stair, because actually that stair is a bit tricky. Let me try to press K again and see what happens. She tries to go back. Yeah, it seems that she cannot find. She can. Oh, she found it. Okay, yeah, that's a bit. But she seems to work. Seems to work okay. Yeah, seems to work perfectly. So it's only the current character that has a problem, basically. Because she moved very, very well. I mean, looks perfectly fine. Yeah. You're hiding, huh? You're hiding behind this big guy, huh? I don't want to kill you. Like, anyway, she moves good. She moves good. So, why these other guys not moving good? Tell me. Tell me why these other guys not moving good. I have no idea. Well, we can just compare the two, and I guess we will find out. We can just compare the two characters and look at them one by one. Yeah, she's okay. I agree. She's okay. She can move okay. So, what is the difference between these two guys? So, the capsule should be pretty much the same. So the capsule is like in the middle of the waist for both. So the capsule is kind of the same, right? I don't know if I think one thing that I did, I messed up with the collision presets. I think that I played with these things when I was doing tests, and maybe I messed up, you know. Let me see for both. Capsule component. Yeah, I want to see if those are exactly identical, okay? Capsule component for him is generate overlap events, and for her is the same. Can character step on is no, and is no for both. Collision preset for one is custom, for the other one is spawn. Okay. So there is collision enabled query and physics on is capsule. You know what? I think I did this when I was testing the slash, because we wanted to have the slash actually eat the guy. And so I messed up with this. So I messed up with these settings. Like I have visibility and camera. Well, it looks identical though. Looks identical. I mean, the setting, I'm switching quickly between one and the other. You see that visibility and camera is ignored. Asdap's does stuff, which I don't know what it is, but it's a channel that I created, is blocked. This arrow is unfortunately placed. It's pretty good because, you know, when you zoom out, it becomes longer. So I mean, it's pretty satisfying. You know, when you're zooming in, it's becoming very, very short. That's the problem. But when you go out, look at this. Huh? Power of the clan. Huh? The problem that we have is that also the lady has it. So I don't know if I really like this. But yes, that arrow is positioned in kind of in a weird way. So should we just let's just move this guy to pawn as well, okay? So that at least we have them the same. So we have pawn and pawn. So there will be no difference between the two. Let's try with this first and see what happens. Let me check also the mesh though, because the mesh, I may have messed up this as well. The mesh is collision preset, character mesh, and then pawn. And for her is on the mesh. No, it's different because for her is pawn again. For him is character mesh, which I don't know what difference is. Pawn object used to be for character mesh, all of the channel will be set to default. Let's set it to pawn. I don't know what is the default, but let's set it to pawn like is for her. Okay, so that they are identical. Okay, let's try now. But I think it can be that because it seems that it's colliding, you know, with a million things. While moving, it seems that it's colliding with so many things, and so it struggles to move. That is what I think is happening, right? So I don't think he's trying. Yeah, I think he's colliding with himself. Maybe he's colliding with himself. I think he's colliding with himself. Okay, let's see now. I think we have a good chance it works. I'm faithful. I'm hopeful. I don't know what to say, but I think it will work now. You believe? Do you believe? Go. Fuck, it doesn't work at all. Why is it rotating that way? What the fuck? Okay, managed to reach the position. There is less wind. At the moment there is less wind, but there is still a lot. Still a lot of wind for whatever reason. I was so hopeful that it would be hit. I was so convinced that this was the reason. I was nearly 100% convinced that this was the reason. Nearly 100% convinced. Fuck it. If I make the mesh no collision, okay. The mesh no collision can. What is all this physics, enable gravity? Let me just check if she has the same. Does she has enable gravity? Yes, she has enabled gravity. Physics transformation update, simulation component transform. Yes, she has the same. Okay, clothing simulation. Clothing simulation. Okay, that's the same. Physical material override. What is physical material override? Physical. Why there is this warning here? The project setting enable a sync scene must be. What is this? Physics. Wait, I'm on the capsule. Huh? I'm on the capsule. Wait a second. I'm on the capsule. No, let's go on the capsule first. The capsule physical material override is nothing. And on the lady is nothing. Okay. Pawn and pawn. But the mesh here of the character is a bit weird because he has some warnings as well. You see this thing? Where is this coming from? This is under physics. So if I select the mesh of the lady under physics, I know I have the same. I have the same warning also on the lady. It's exactly identical. Pity. And these parameters are exactly identical. Okay. Let's check collision again. I will move it into the same position so we can switch between one and the other. Collision. Identical. There is one difference. Component replicates. This thing is enabled for the lady. This component is currently replicating. Should not consider replicating. This one is set on the lady and is not set on the cran. Component replicates. I can't click it. Maybe it was the default and I removed it for some reason. Skeletal mesh. Keep simulating bones. Yeah, that is the same. Let me just make another quick test just with that checkbox that I changed. And then I will do the test that you wanted to do, Amy, which is the mesh no collision. Just to see if it's the mesh messing up with something. Maybe the mesh is too big compared to the capsule and so is colliding with the capsule. I don't know. I mean, but I think we will surely solve this because it's only related to one character, and so it should be fairly easy to find or to fix, like redoing the character completely. I think I can click it also. Can I select it from distance? No, I have to be close. Let me press K and see what happens. No, it's still completely crazy. It's still completely crazy. Okay, let me try. It's so funny to see this, by the way. It's so funny. How is possible? How is possible? Okay, I will remove the collision of the mesh, so the mesh will be no collision at all. If I remove the collision of the capsule, the character will fall down through the floor. I tested it already. But if I do it on the mesh, I think it would be no problem. He should not fall down because the capsule will keep him up, will keep him in the game. Let me just remove the other maps because we tested it's not a problem of the other maps, and so it takes less to load up. Okay, so just because it takes less time when the server is starting and the client is starting. There is a mystery. Why the crane is dancing? Maybe he wants to tell us something, you know. Maybe the crane wants to tell us something, but we cannot catch him. Maybe he wants to tell us something, but we don't know what he's saying. Okay. Hello, man. You're not colliding anymore. Can you move properly now? Well, not exactly. Oh my god. Okay. It's the same. I mean, it makes no difference. Let's see if there is anything in his blueprint. Okay, because maybe we added something in his blueprint just to test stuff, you know, because this character is the one we use the most. So construction script empty. Okay. Event graph. Why is empty, by the way? This one should be deleted. I don't want to have an empty. Maybe it's not overriding the father or whatever. Let's just delete this. I don't want it. If it's empty, I don't want it. Can I delete it? No. Cannot delete it. Okay. It has to be empty. Is empty also on the lady? Yes, it's empty also on the lady. Okay, fine. Then it's okay. Let me see in the event graph because he has some stuff. You see, he has some shit. Well, no, this is the one that I added to play the different animations, like the attack animation, and it should be exactly identical on the lady as well. You see, it's well. I mean, he has more stuff, but he has more stuff. What do you mean he won't get fixed? We want him to get fixed. What do you mean? There is only this though, and it's... Yeah, maybe he's happy running around, you know, just jumping, and I can try to disconnect the AI, but if I disconnect the AI, then I think I can connect just a standard AI, not a PS, not the PS AI, but just a standard Unreal Engine AI. Because actually, when we are associating the AI to him, let me check, because we are doing more stuff, right? We are associating him a brain, and we are also associating him, but the behaviors are all to 0, so no, I don't think it's something in my code. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Let's see if there is any other difference. What can we check? Character movement. There is also this AI perception stimuli source. Is it only on him? No, because it's inherited, so it's the same between the two. So they have a sense of sight. They can see. Yeah. Okay, let's check if there is anything on the physics. Because you see, we have physics assets. I don't know if these physics assets are messing up something. Physics assets. I mean, we could just redo it from scratch, but it seems to be a pity, you know? This character is actually physics associated to him, while the lady doesn't. This character has physics associated. Let's try to remove it for a second and see. How do I remove it? I have no idea. Physics. What are the physics associated to the skeleton, maybe? No. Are associated to what? Because the sequence is, you know, the sequence is skeleton, mesh, animation, blueprint, physics. So I was expecting the blueprint to have that setting, but animation, mesh preview. Is in the mesh of the blueprint, you think? Okay, let's see. No. The mesh as skeletal mesh animation class. I think it should be in the animation blueprint, but it's not here. Physics. Physics is not even here. Mesh details, you say. Mesh, so here, I clicked on the mesh. Physics asset. But it's not selected. Here on the left, asset detail is not selected, it's known. So maybe it's in the animation asset details. Maybe in the blueprint asset details. No, there is no blueprint asset details. Yeah, but it's empty. But you see that I have physics here somewhere. I mean, somehow I see physics, but it's not set. Physics asset. I mean, I can set it again and remove it. I don't know, maybe it messed up with something. I don't know. I added physics now. I see physics, but I remove it, but I still see physics here. Why? That lightning the other. What do you mean? Lightning? I did it on lightning? Oh, okay. I did it on lightning. Physics. I can save it. Check out everything. Okay. And then I go here, I remove it. I save it again. Maybe under load 0? No, load 0 no. Physics. Skeletal mesh. Skeletal mesh asset import. Down, you mean where? Animation? 0 animation? I don't know, I'm so confused. If I filter on physics, there are only these two. Why this guy still has physics? Okay. I think it's time for the internet. What is called? It's called the physics. A physics what? A physics asset? A physics something? A physics asset. Unable to add remove bodies, cannot change mesh of physics assets. Do enable disable physics constraint, font too small, scale physics roll. How would I go about destroying? Clothing. I don't know. I don't know. Blueprint. So isn't because sorry, the sequence is correct. In theory, is inside this blueprint. Maybe this physics is associated to a specific animation. I don't know. Root motion for measure. Producing settings, animation, mesh, additional mesh, settings, profile. Spine. Well, I can remove all of this, but I don't know if it's correct. That remove it. Like here we have control lower spine, which goes into this capsule, and there is this tight lower spine constraint. Is this the same that I see on the skeleton, or no? It's different. Show bones, show constraints, show primitives. Animation, mesh, morph target, mesh, morph target, bones, advanced, hierarchical mesh, clothing, bodies, wireframe. So the thing that we are selecting is bodies. Bodies is what we have added on top. Profile 01, additional meshes. What is these additional meshes? I don't want to make more mess than already there is, because yeah, additional meshes was here actually for the lady, so maybe I should keep it for him as well. Physics. Physics. Hmm. Animation. Trying to understand where is this, but cannot find any. Because the skeleton doesn't have anything about physics. The skeleton doesn't have. The mesh has, because he has this part, which is related to physics, which at the moment is empty. Reimport mesh, selection, select, section, section. Maybe set on one of the LOD, the LOD, and we don't see it for whatever reason. Animation. Is it related to the one I select? No, it's not related to this one. Boys, I have no idea. Simulate physical material. Preview mesh, add socket, prismatic something. I mean, I can delete these things if I can delete it. I can delete the constraints. I can delete all of this. I don't know. I can take it all and delete it, but I don't know if I'm doing something that I should not do. I can take all of this and try to delete it and see what happens. Unassign. I'm deleting capsules. Yeah, I'm actually deleting items from the thingy. I'm deleting piece of physics one by one. I click on delete and it's easy. I'm deleting one by one the physics pieces. So maybe we'll test it like this and see if this is making it. So now it doesn't have any. I mean, the physics is on, but it doesn't exist. Physics is there, but it has no physics bodies in any way. So let's see if this makes any difference. Just to understand if it's the physics. Okay. He's as crazy as usual. It's kind of a different crazy though. I think he gave up. He has to go there, but he gave up. Going back is always easier for him. While going to that place is basically impossible. I have no idea. I would just redo the character from scratch. I don't know, just recreate it, you know, recreate the blueprint, recreate the thing. I don't know. I think we are losing time with that. I would be very interested to understand why, instead of remaking it. But I feel I'm losing time. You know, I'm wasting time in trying. And if I could delete these fucking physics things, if I could just delete that, I would be happy. But I don't know how to remove it. It's not what we need anyway. Anyone has any idea? I'm a bit stuck on that. I'm a bit stuck on this. I mean, I can rebuild the character and just disassociate. Can I? How do I destroy it without destroying everything? Mesh, animation, blueprint. What if I delete the freaking physics thing? Because the physics is somewhere, you know? It's actually somewhere. What if I delete it? I think it should be here somewhere in the directories, right? Cran physics asset, this one. Let's just delete it. I delete it. Delete. Okay. So now it cannot say that he has it. Still saying that he has it? No, it's another one. What I just deleted? It was physics something, but this one is physics something else. What I just deleted, boys. If you were watching, what I just deleted? Am I live? Yes, I'm watching myself. I did it already. No? Physics. I think I deleted the same one. Did I delete the same one and for some reason it recreated? Or? But he had a different icon. It was like this. Physics assets. Okay, anyway. No, I don't want to save this. Let me open up the current character now and see what happens. Okay, the physics are gone. Now I don't know if it works again, but because I deleted two things for physics, and it disappeared. Now I don't remember why we created it, but I think we created it because there was something else not working without physics. Was something else not working? Ah, yes, was still when we were trying to hit with the sword. That we created it when we were trying to hit with the sword. That is what we did. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, so I deleted it. I deleted it completely. So you cannot load any physics asset for that character. So basically you cannot disassociate it, you have to delete it. Because probably just search for a physics asset that has been created from the mesh, and he automatically associates it. I don't know, but it looks like that, so that's fine. Okay, I have high hopes for this. High hopes, very high hopes. Please, Mr. Cran, please. No, it's the same. Fuck it. It's exactly the same. What is going on with this character? I have no idea. So it's not the physics. I had very high hopes. It could be that. Very, very high hopes. It's not that. So maybe something related to this. Because the Cran is the one that has the most complex state machine. But it's true that when he's moving, in theory, he should be staying in idle all the time. So then the other difference, I think, is that we have the blend space. Now the blend space, we have it also on the lady. Yeah, it's exactly the same, I think. It's the same blend space. Yes, it's the same blend space that we have for her and for him. So the blend space should be the same. Well, another difference is that she's made in pieces. He's not made in pieces, but the monster, the giant guy, is made of one piece as well. So it's exactly like the Cran. So and it works well. Sorry, it's like exactly like the Cran. So it's one piece and it works well. So or there is something on the mesh skeleton, because actually that skeleton was a bit weird if you ask me. If I go back to, let me just show you, but is the only one that I think we imported. So Cran. If I go under the giant, right? If I go under the giant, you see that his skeleton is kind of okay. Well, it's not great, but it's kind of okay. So meaning that, oops, where am I? Meaning that he has, bones for the legs, bones for the arms and such. Then there are some weird ones like these ones, but these are just, let's say, termination of other bones. But if I look at the Cran, and also if I look at the lady, let me show you the lady. Lady also is the lady is the cleanest, I would say. The skeleton is the cleanest skeleton we have, right? But if I look at the Cran skeleton is fucked up like this. I don't know why. It works okay. I mean, all the animations work okay, but you see that the bones are freaking bad. Are super bad. And I don't know if this is making, you know, the character act weird when resolving pathfinding. I mean, it should not, because it should move only the capsule. So basically, there should be no other calculation than the capsule moving on the navigation path. So nothing else. I don't think that the bone should be involved. I don't think that, I mean, Unreal is a very good engine, so I think that super optimized. So I think that they didn't do anything stupid, you know. So I think they did it right, and so I think they are interacting only with the capsule. Pretty sure of that. Now, what is this other thing? This other thing is the interact trigger. Is it the same on the lady? Yes, it's the same on the lady because it's inherited from someone else. I don't know, maybe we can park this problem and just use the lady instead of the, you know, instead of the crane, and do our fighting simulation with that, because otherwise we are just wasting time on something that is probably a bad setup of this character from the beginning, which we are anyway going to redo. What do you think? I think it's probably... Hey, Sand. We are having a bad problem on the movement of a character, but only one character, you know, so I'm not very concerned because we can rebuild it from scratch, and who cares? I mean, it would be nice to understand why. It would be very nice to understand why, but I don't know. It would be very nice to understand why, but at this point, I'm not really understanding why. You didn't see? I can show you again. It's the same thing I was doing yesterday, but basically I have a very simple, I will show you. I have a very simple command that I issue by pressing one key, which is the K key, and I asking him to move between one location and the other. And all the other characters moves okay, but it doesn't. And I will show you now what it's doing, but it's like his movement is I don't know, it's completely fucked up. So I will show you, for example, I select the big guy, this big guy here, okay? Which, okay, is not walking because it doesn't have a walk animation, but I don't care about that. So I select this guy, and I cannot select him. Okay, I selected him, and now I press K, and okay, he's stuck on this object for a second, but then he moves okay to that location. So it's moving, it's going, blah 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 blah, it's going. Right? And the same with the lady. If I do it with the lady, she moves okay. If I do it with this guy, which is this character, look at what he's doing. Look. Look. He's going left, right, he's rotating, he's dancing, and now he's trying to reach that point, which is the same point, by the way. And he cannot reach it. He's going left, right, rotating, dancing, moving. What the fuck is going on? He's not able to reach it. Then if he reaches it for any reason, then he finally stops, like now. You see, he stopped. And the very weird thing is that Going in this direction seems to be very hard for him, but if I ask him to go back, it's a bit better. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a bit better. But you see? It's like if the pathfinding is completely fucked up, or if he's colliding with something that we don't see and he's seeing. Look at that. Boy, look at that. If I ask to this guy to go back, it would be a straight line. It would be like super easy. Select him and say, hello, can you go back? Can you go back? Look at this. Tack. You go straight to that place. No issue. Boom. Alright. And I don't know why. I mean, there is something, you know, in this character. Yeah, running away from the player constantly. Yeah, we did some tests. Actually, Hami was testing that, and if you issue the same command multiple times, like at every tick, like if you issue move to or move to actor at every tick, it does like that. So it goes completely crazy. But in this case, I'm doing the same for both. No, I'm doing it in blueprints. It's a super simple move to. So it's like the simplest blueprint ever. So is this is flip-flop between two locations. These are the two locations and then move to. Now it works on the other two characters, so it cannot be the blueprint. Why for the other two works and for him doesn't work? So it's not a matter of blueprint. It's just the character. No, I just created it. Is the event that starts this is when I press the key. It's impossible because I just created it now. It's not fired at any other time. It's fired only when I press the key. I did it like half an hour ago, so I did it like half an hour ago, and I created all this, so it is not called from anywhere else. And for all the other characters, it's working okay. I can do this forever on the giant. You see? Now this UI is opening up. But if you do it on the giant, it's going there. I press it again, it comes back. He has no problems. It's the same location for both characters. It's the same location. What do you mean spam filtered? You have to select at the top, not main chat, but you have to select all chat or real-time chat, whatever it's called. Then you see all the messages. Yeah, just select all characters, all chat on top. I think you should. But anyway, I think at the moment I will park the problem and I will just use the lady instead of the Kran for fighting, which I think is better, you know, because there is something wrong on the Kran, but I don't care personally. I don't really care. I don't really care. If you have any ideas, let me know, but for now I will just do something very simple. I will switch him from being a Kran to being a Dermodian female, and fuck it. So our fighter 5, which is this guy, no, our Smith 5, race gender will be 18 and GG. Will be 18 and now is a lady. And now that is a lady, it moves okay. Well, let's try, because that's a good test anyway. That's anyway a good test. That's a good test because now he has the same brain and the same behaviors of the previous character. Just the mesh is different. Well, not only the mesh but also the blueprint. But anyway, let's say the blueprint is different. So let's try this. I think it's a good test. The capsule alpha 8 is applied to everyone. Okay, there it is. There is the same guy. There is the same guy with the difference that now he has a different blueprint. So if I select him and ask him to move, he moves perfectly, you see? He moves perfectly. If I ask him to go back, he moves perfectly. So it's really that character. It's that character. Has nothing to do with our code, because here we are executing the code the proper way. The only issue I have with the lady is that I didn't set up like all the there are some things missing, like the sockets for the hands probably are not there. Like you see that this word is like laying on the ground, and I don't think she has an attack animation, so that's a bit of a problem. But let me see. If I take the lady and I go, no, I have to take this. If I take the skeleton, she doesn't have, she has sockets? She has a right hand socket and a left hand socket. Yeah, she has the sockets actually. So why? So why she's not putting the weapon in hand? That's interesting. For the equip of the characters, I think I have a specific code on PS character equip item. I think it's here. Yes, right hand or left hand. The keep will be equip. He's searching. This is the remove. This is the keep. Create static mesh component, get mesh by path, set static mesh, replicated. Right hand, left hand. Current item in right hand. And these variables are all here, right? Current item. Yes. So why it doesn't work for her? Should be set up exactly the same. Right hand and left hand. These are the two sockets. I don't think there is any property of the socket, right? Force is animated. So this one is attached to the right hand. For him is attached where? For him is attached. For him is attached to the palm. Yeah, I think it's the same. It's exactly the same. I mean, it's another bone, but because I remember that actually there are a lot of errors printed out in the console when she's moving. There it is. What does this mean? There are these errors which I think are the ones that are having the weapon go to the ground, because it's saying get socket by name left hand, no skeletal mesh for component character 0 actor, the modern character C0. I mean, no skeletal mesh. I mean, is it because she's in pieces? Is it because she's made of pieces and so for some reason it cannot attach to the actual mesh? Let me try to add a sample, but I think the sample should work. Add preview asset. Let me add whatever club. Yeah, it works okay. You can see the club. Why should be different in game? Okay, the bow doesn't really work because it's rotated wrong, but yeah, because the rotation is not the right rotation. Why there is a weapon there? What is this weapon? Double X. Double X preview only. Why there is an object here? It's like if there is another static mesh. There is a static mesh. It is preview only though. Yeah, it's preview only. Probably I attached it to this bone for some reason. I don't know why, but in general, I mean, apart from the rotation, which is a bit weird on this one, but is working okay. So it's working here, but it's not working on when I run it. Is only the left hand or is both? Let me try to add maybe another item or switch that item to the location of the right hand. How do I do it? Let me save it. So to move it from left hand to right hand, so this is character number 5. So I need to go into No, I can do it by console. Why I'm doing it by hand? I can just go here under NPC and I can list all the NPCs and I can select our Smith and under items I can change. Wow, he has a lot of items, by the way. I can change this from left hand to right hand, so I don't have to do it in the database. Pretty good. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. Okay, now it's in the right hand. Why is it not changing? The right hand already has something else, or? I have to click on change location. Okay, yeah. Okay, now is the right hand. Let's see if there is the same problem with the right hand. I don't know if it's because at the moment, unfortunately, all our characters are set up differently because we have imported them at different time. So the Kran was basically the player character, and so we imported him. We added some stuff on him and such. Then the lady was the merchant, and then the giant was the monster. And unfortunately, each of them has a slightly different setup and is slightly different. They are made slightly differently, and it is hitting us quite hard now. It's hitting us quite hard now because we cannot see. Yeah, but it's the same. You see, she has the falcon here on the ground, like she cannot find the proper geometry. And I think it's probably giving this error at the beginning when she's loaded up. Yes. You see, no skeletal mesh component for. Why is this? I don't understand. Let me try to search the internet if someone has a similar problem anywhere. This guy seems to have the similar problem, and he's saying that he's not really finding the mesh because the mesh is not already connected. I'm just wondering if, our problem is that the socket is set on a part of the body that has no mesh, but this seems to be pretty stupid. Like, do you think it makes a difference? I mean, I can attach it to a part of the body, like this one, this one, right? Bone lower arm, like this one, or bone lower tip, like this part, arm upper. This arm upper has the geometry associated, but I don't think it makes any difference, eh? I mean, we look a bit weird, but she will have a. She will have a weapon coming out of her arm, but it's okay. Just to test if there is any problem with the fact that she's made of pieces. I just want to see that. If there's any problem with the fact she's made of pieces. Okay, let's try like this. Not be great, but even if I think that when she's in that position, I think I should put it a bit more to the top. I know it looks silly, okay? I know it, but it's just a test. I want to see if it doesn't complain about the mesh. In theory, I mean, the socket is associated only to the bones, not to the mesh. So I don't know why it's saying that it doesn't find the skeletal mesh for the lady. It's saying I cannot find the skeletal mesh to search for the bone. Because he's searching the bone and then he's searching the socket and then he's trying to associate it, right? And it's saying that he cannot find. It's the same. It's exactly the same. These characters are too different for my taste. That's the problem. There are still too many differences between this character, and we are struggling to get consistency. You know, to get consistency between the characters. That's a problem. That's really a problem. So why is saying that this? So okay, let's look at my keep code just to be sure that we don't do something stupid, that it works only for. No, but for example, for the lover character, it works, right? Because I added a socket on this guy. Yes. For him, let me check. But for him, I think it works. Because I have here a socket, which is called right hand and left hand. Yes, which is here. The only difference is that maybe it's not oriented right. It's not the right. I mean, it's not the right orientation. Okay, it's fine, but wow, why is it moving so quick? It's not the right orientation. Let me just hide the bones. Okay. Oh, selected on. Selected on. I think it's good. So if I click on this and I add just the preview asset, let's do the club again. The club is fine. Yeah, we decided to have it multiplied by 10. I will remove that now. Relative scale, I think it should be 1. What the fuck? Why is saying that is so big? No idea. Okay, let's do this. So at least he has his own right socket. And in the left hand, we want to do the same. But yes, all these characters are slightly different from each other. I don't know why. But they are. They are slightly different. So I'm just rotating the thingy so that it looks like, yes, looks like he's holding them. Okay, so we rotated this. Now, oops, it's still open. Okay. Now I think he will hold it. Okay, so why works for him and doesn't work for her? I also try to attach it to a different bone, and it's not the bone, it's just this is very strange. This is very strange. This is very strange. The only difference is that it's maybe one piece. And so, because maybe I'm searching the mesh 0 or something. Because I'm not completely convinced, that I'm doing it right, because maybe in my code, in my blueprint code, I'm searching, because this guy only has one mesh. There is this one mesh, skeletal mesh component, right? In the case, and the same for the cran. For the lady is different. For the lady, we have the mesh, which is actually a composition. Right? You see this? The mesh is actually a composition of sub-meshes. And it's the submeshes that actually has the skeletal animation. So maybe he's trying to get, the skeleton from this mesh, and he cannot find it. I don't know, could be, but that could be the reason, because here, what it's doing, I create the static mesh component, but here I think I'm creating the weapon itself. Yes. All of this is the creation of the weapon. And then after that, I just check if it's the left or right. Then is the parent. Yeah, I think it could be this. It could be this because parent target mesh. I think it's probably this mesh that is not correct. But I cannot do much else than get mesh, right? Can I do something smarter than get mesh? I mean, I can do character get mesh, get the main skeletal mesh associated with this character. Optional sub-objects. What does it mean, optional sub-objects? I would like to get also the sub-objects. Yes, for sure. Is there a way to say get mesh with sub-objects? Because this is what I would like to have. So let me think about it. Can I get sub objects? No. How do I get all the? Is there something like sub mesh? No. Should I get the children and get children component? Get children component mesh. Get all the attached child components. Yeah, in theory, I mean, in theory, right? Here I have all the possible child meshes, but how do I know which is the component I have to attach it in? But why is it attaching to the mesh and not to the freaking to the freaking? Attach to component. Attach to component. Because our problem is the following. Okay, our problem with the lady is the following: that we have I don't think we did it right. Personally, because we have one skeletal mesh for each of this. I think we should have one skeletal mesh here, which then is split into freaking pieces. The problem is that if I add arms here, what happens? I have it double, right? I think I have it double. If I do it here, I think I have it double. I will have two pair of arms. Well, in that case, I can delete one. I can say that the main mesh is the arms, and I could delete this one. There is a question for you guys, for Cyborg and for Zwei, if you are listening, but I think we have a bit of a problem with the setup of the character that are made in pieces, and I think we should resolve it. We should resolve it because the later we do it, the more messy it may become to then go back, more messy may become to go back. So we have to decide what to do with one or the other. I think I can. Okay, let's validate this theory first, and then we will see if it's like this. Okay, so let's just compile and save this. So she now has two pair of arms. Well, actually, I think I can delete this one. So the main mesh is my arms, and all the other are sub pieces, which have the skeleton again, though. So I don't know if this is a good idea. Because my pieces, do the pieces have the skeleton twice? Or mesh, skeleton mesh. Well, actually no, they point all to the same skeleton. Okay, that's a bit better. So in reality, no. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Maybe no, but okay. So let's put the thingy like I did. So let's put one mesh here, and then at this point let's not change anything here because otherwise I'm making something wrong, right? So let's keep it as it is. Now just the difference is that our character has a skeletal mesh in the main mesh. And let's see if I have high hopes for this. I think it should work, but crossing fingers. Crossing fingers, boys. And then I think I will leave in a few. I started the stream very, very late, so unfortunately I started the stream very, very late, but okay, let's see. It works now. Okay, the theory is validated. The theory is validated. Okay, so the character that are made in pieces should have one piece set in the main mesh. It is a very good. You see that? Maybe you don't see it well, but I can zoom it in. But she has the falcon and in the arm instead of on the ground. So yeah, so that's the problem. So we need to decide this. So I'm just writing down this thing. I try to have the arms mesh on the main mesh, and it works. So we need to resolve this. So we need to find out what is the right way. At the moment, for characters split in pieces, just have one piece be the main mesh. If you want to understand what I'm saying, if you are listening or if you are reading and you are listening now to the stream, yes, is basically to have it this way, so that the Dermorian character, yes, has a mesh which has the skeletal mesh also. Let me take a picture maybe so it's clearer for everyone. If I do this and I take a picture, like this, I think we'll be okay. So to see that she has this thing. Alright, screenshot. Boom. Okay. And then I will make just some highlights. Skeleton mesh. Okay, I think it's clear enough, right? Do we need this piece? No, we really don't. Okay, I will just paste it like this. Okay, good. At least we fixed this, which is nice. So we had good findings tonight anyway. We found out, let's say, our code has nothing to do with our issues with movement and nothing to do with the code, but just with the way the character is set up. And so now what I can do, maybe I can just revert to a good well, I didn't change much. I can just move, let's say if I move back the two sockets, if I go here and I move back two sockets in reasonable position, so I think it will work okay. So if I move it to hand and I move the other one to hand as well, and then I just move the only problem is that without seeing the full character, how do I display the sub? Is there a way to display the sub meshes? No, because not displaying the sub meshes is pretty bad. Yeah, it's a bit hard without seeing the hands actually. So how do I do this? It's probably nearly impossible without seeing the hands. I think we need to find out what is the way to do this, because we are not doing it right. I think at the moment. I think at the moment we are not doing it right. We are not. I mean, the fact that we see only the arms and we don't see the full character is very strange, you know. Why we don't see the full character? I don't get it. Why we don't see the full character? I mean, obviously it's made of is because it's made of pieces, right? And that's okay. But if making it of pieces is the right way, then why the engine is not showing us the full character? So this seems that then this way is not the right way. Right? This way is not the right way. Or maybe there should be an option here to show the full mesh, to show also the sub meshes, but I don't see it because under show mesh I don't see much. I see mesh, modify, basic, detailed, scatter control. I don't know if detailed is doing anything different. No, basic, mesh overlay. So doesn't convince me much. Doesn't convince me that it's the right method. Doesn't convince me this is the right method. But anyway, let's say for now I think it will be okay. So what we do, we use the lady as a fighting target or fighting subject, let's call it, and we just need to have also the attack animation there, because at least I want her to show the attack animation. Does she has an attack animation? Okay, now it's a bit better. It's still, well, the socket is not very good because it's rotated, so we need to rotate it somehow. But I would say for now we will do. Let's see what happens if I attack her, if she attacks back. And if she has an attack animation, because I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure of that. So if I go in combat mode and just attack, I think she attacks back only when she is hit. Yeah, she's hitting because he hit me for 60 damage. Maybe she can even kill me. But she's not playing any animation because I don't think she has any animations for attack. While the Kran added the attack animations, I think she doesn't. Let me see. The attack is actually here, but it may be that she doesn't even have the state machine. Could be. Animation blueprint. No, the state machine is here. I don't know if it's complete though. State machine. No, she cannot attack, you see? She cannot attack. She can die, cast a spell, but she cannot attack. Yeah. I don't know if I want to spend time doing this. They will already do, you know. This will have to be decided once and then done, let's say, consistently on all the characters the same way. And this is not very good. So to make it similar to the cran, I can try. I can try to make it similar to the cran, which is the one that is working okay. The problem is that the cran has a million, as a super huge animation blueprint. The state machine is insane. Look at this. The state machine is insane. Because what I need that the attack, I think I will need the one-handed state, and I need the attacking state as well. And when we are attacking, I'm just thinking where we do we set this for everyone? So this Boolean attacking is local to the cran, right? Right, but in our event graph, yes, because we have this animation graph for each character, which is basically allowing him to attack. Okay, it's fine. I think we can do, I mean, the simplest, I'm trying to do it as simple as possible, okay, because I don't want to overdo it. I just want to have another state, which would be attack, and this one will be triggered by B attack, and this one will be if B attack is true, we enter the transition. Then we will have the opposite, which is this one going back, which is if it's not B attack, right? Not Boolean of this. Okay. Then this part is okay. So she knows that she can attack. Now the problem is that we also need try, yes. We also need the code that I placed on the cran, I need it also here in the same way. So for attack, you see this one that we get animation instance, blah blah blah. We need exactly the same. We need to do when attack animation instance, blah blah blah. Yeah. So animation instance set attacking, and we do it here. And then we have the peace mode though, because the peace mode is setting. Do we have the peace mode anyway? We don't have it here, we have it somewhere else. Interesting. Okay, but anyway, it should be fine. The die we have it, the attack we have it. What are we missing? We're missing the combat mode, the cast, and the hit. But unfortunately, we don't have any of that on her. That's annoying. But I think we can go with these two states for now. So at least she should try to attack now. I mean, we should see the attack animation, I think. She will not go in combat mode because we don't have a combat mode for her loaded, but she should at least attack. Yes. Now, I think now is the point where we should understand why she stops attacking at a certain point, but I think we need to put back, because I did a lot of mess here actually. Let me just see if she attacks, and then we remove all the tests, because I did so many tests that when I was trying to understand why the crown was moving on, that it kind of messed up some of the code. So I want to restore it. Let me attack her, and when I hit, she doesn't show the attack animation though. She's weird. She didn't show the attack animation. Is there anything else I should do? Let me see. What do we have on him? Oh, we have the active connected, but no, attacking is just setting attacking. Is the in combat and the others that are setting. Okay, no, there's nothing else. We have this piece, which I think we do already, right? For her. We're getting the mesh. We have again the problem of the mesh. I hope it's animating everything, but yeah, but I think it should be fine. That should be fine. This should be fine. This should be fine. Attack. Why is not playing though? Maybe I didn't save this file. I think I saved it. I didn't associate to this one the attack animation, I think. Right, I think I didn't do that. I didn't associate the attack animation to this. Yeah, it's doing this. Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, let's retry. I think I was missing the association of the animation. Let's try again. So we should always go in player mode and then just face her and select and then click and then try to do damage. We are missing. I send this. Not facing him. I don't know why she's not reacting. She's going to the location. Yes, because we have in the code that she goes to these locations. Okay, so that's why. But it's not attacking. But at least she got to the location properly, which is what our character was not able to do. Our clan was not able to do. So okay, let's remove some of the dummy code that I placed. Okay, so that we actually are, let's say, in good shape from that perspective. These windows, 1 million windows open. Is there a way to close them easily? Okay, I think I closed them all. So let's remove a bit of the R coding, because I have so much here that I R coded just for the sake of fixing things. So what is the best way to do it? Probably the best way to do it if I just compare with the previous code, because otherwise, so if I go under source NPC client and I check this NPC operation with, not even, because I checked it in. I think I need to, let's check the differences between these two. I think I did multiple changes. Like this change is a good change. Well, it's not in too many places, but yeah, this I need to keep. This is the debug. Well, it's not too many places, so I think I can do it manually without. So we basically need to remove all of this. We need to remove all of this. Maybe I keep only the debug, because the debug I think is useful to see if it's getting executed multiple times, right? Because we were seeing that if executed multiple times, it was getting confused. So this piece of code was good. So it's basically checking if we have a target actor or not, and yes, if it's an actor, we use move to actor. If not, we use move to location. I think that's perfect. That's exactly right, in my point of view. So now maybe we want to execute to have here the printout. Yeah, so we are executing a move location, move to actor. Then all this code I think should be fine. Now the other thing I want to fix is the NPC brain, because at the moment it's taking every 30 seconds and that's very, very bad. It should be every 250 milliseconds, but for now we can move it to maybe 1 or 2. I can move it to 2 seconds. I think it's okay. I think we add it to 3 seconds. 3 seconds is kind of fine. I just don't remember where we have, but I have the search here. Tick. Yes, this brain tick. Okay, this brain tick, we put it to 3 seconds, let's say. Instead of 30, because 30 is really insane. So every 3 seconds, she will be updating the brain and the artificial intelligence and everything. Now we will have it lower than 3 seconds for sure. We will have it like 250 milliseconds, as I said, but for now, just to avoid overloading of messages, otherwise it's very hard to follow, let's do 3 seconds. Okay. Now what else I have to change? So this one, so basically this will mean that she will try to follow me. Right? She will try to follow me. The only problem is that we don't see if we don't see. Wait a second, I'm thinking something else, because I need to do this. I don't think we want it in debug mode. I think no, standard mode is fine. So the problem is that now we will not see the attacks, because she doesn't have the right attack animation for whatever reason, so that's a problem. So I need to have one character set up properly, fully, to be working on that. But we will assume for now that she's trying to attack, and we see it in the chat system anyway. In the chat system we see everything. So we see that she attacks us for 60 damage and such. But basically the difference is that now she should follow me. Okay, so when I hit, she will get the perception of the damage, and based on the perception of the damage she will start to hit back and follow me, and she will follow me forever. At the moment there is no block or anything else. Okay, there is her brain, so fight 0, chase 0. So at the moment she's not doing anything special, she's just waiting someone to attack. It is the printout of our brain. Every 3 seconds you see is updated. It's every 3 seconds, so at least we don't spam, you know, the logs forever. And now we log in and we see if we can trigger the chase. She should switch between chase and fight. She's there. Okay. I was not finding her, I was surprised. She should switch between chase and fight based on the distance between me and her. Okay. So, okay, I'm going in player mode already. I'm selecting and I'm hitting. Now that's a dodge. That's a miss. She started to attack me. Okay, let's go far away and see if she tried to chase me. Okay, finally she's chasing me. She's chasing me. Yeah, she's chasing me. Good. She's trying to chase me. And then every 3 seconds, you know, because when she reaches the location, she's stopping. You see that she's stopping. I don't know if she's reaching the previous location or what. And there is a maximum range of 25 meters. So I want to see if she stops where I was. I think she does. This could still. Let's stay like here in the middle. She's not chasing me anymore. I think she gave up for some reason. I think there is the fight behavior. Yeah, went to -10. So after some time she gives up. So she's not interested in fighting anymore or chasing anymore. That's just how the thing is designed. Okay, so after some time the fight goes down, 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 and becomes negative. So she's no more interested in attacking me. If I do damage again, she starts to chase me again. Which I think is good. So I think it's pretty good. So at least the only problem I see is that the move actor is not updated. It's like if she's taking the coordinates. So let's try to do it again. But I think the move actor is very stupid. So let's say that I go exactly here in the middle of these two things. So in the middle of this block, okay? So when she chases me, I move. Yeah, you see, she goes exactly there. So I don't know why, but she's not chasing me. She's chasing the ghost of me. I don't know if it's because it's every 3 seconds. We can make it every 250 milliseconds and see. But she's chasing me in a very stupid way for me. But at least it works. So she aggro me and she continued to chase until the fight behavior goes to 0. And in that case she stops. Okay, I think it's good. If I'm close, does she hit or not? Well, now I think she doesn't because... Well, let me see if she chased me, if she reached me, if she actually starts to hit or not. I don't see any hit in the chat, so she's not doing it. Okay, I think we will debug this later, but at least the objective of having her chase me when in fight is okay. We just have to check why she's chasing the ghost of me and not me, but I think it's okay. She's attacking now, but then he's saying you are too tired to attack. So for some reason, we have to check the stamina thing, but I think the stamina is kind of bad. But at least she chased me, and he's using our code, our behavior code to decide when to chase and when not to chase. I think it's anyway a big achievement, boys. I'm very happy about that. At least we've proven that it's just the character setup which was wrong and nothing else. So it's very nice. Okay, with that said, I think I will stop the stream. I will continue tomorrow for sure to do more tests, and maybe I will stream as well. But for now, I think I will stop. So thanks for watching. And at least we fixed this point, right? We need to understand why the current character is not set up properly, but for now, I think it's okay. She works okay, and that's good. We need to. The other thing that we need to understand is how to set up our character. So if we really want the character to be divided in pieces, and EPS, what to do, with the main mesh. I think we should just search in Google for other people, or ask to other more expert people how they do the character split, the character separation, if they do it at all or not, or if they change the wall mesh. Maybe some of them are changing the wall mesh. Seems a bit of a waste though, because if you're changing only one piece of armor, you want to change, only a piece, not everything. Okay, it's fine. With that, I think I'm going, and I speak to you very soon, actually tomorrow. Bye bye.